Hey guys, Sean here. Welcome to the F1 Word and to the qualifying report for the 2019 Spanish Grand Prix. Now, it will probably come as no surprise to many of you that Mercedes have managed to lock out the front row in Spain, but my word, what a lap from Valtteri Bottas. He is on pole once again with a 1:15.4, comfortably a new track record, and with a time that is 7 tenths quicker than last year's pole position and 6 tenths quicker than teammate Lewis Hamilton. Phenomenal lap. Hamilton didn't get the cleanest of runs, to be fair, which would account for quite a bit of that gap, but that should take nothing away from Valtteri Bottas. Stunning. Sebastian Vettel is third for Ferrari on a 1:16.2, 8 tenths slower than Bottas, but only in air quotes 2 tenths of a second behind Lewis Hamilton, so better than it looked in FP3 this morning. Max Verstappen once again splitting the Ferraris in fourth with Charles Leclerc in fifth. He'll be disappointed with that, and Pierre Gasly making it to sixth for Red Bull. Grosjean and Magnussen couldn't quite break into that top 6, but Grosjean was 7th and Magnussen in 8th, with Daniel Kvyat making it into the top 10 and Daniel Ricciardo 10th, but of course he will take a 3-place grid drop for reversing into Kvyat in Baku. Lando Norris ended the session in 11th place, but of course will get promoted once Ricciardo takes that penalty, and he was just ahead of Alexander Albon and teammate Carlos Sainz, who is 13th. Not great for Alpha today. Kimi Raikkonen down in 14th, Sergio Perez 15th for Racing Point. Nico Hülkenberg did not have the cleanest of sessions. He went into the wall and damaged his front wing. That compromised him early on, but he still went out in Q1 and is only 16th. Not great at all. Lance Stroll once again cannot get Saturdays right. He's in 17th. Antonio Giovinazzi is 18th. And then it's George Russell in 19th ahead of teammate Robert Kubica. But Russell will have to take a grid penalty for a new gearbox after crashing out in FP3. So it's a hat-trick of pole positions for Valtteri Bottas then, 3 in a row and possibly his best lap to date. The Finn said that he found the lap to be really enjoyable, but did admit that he was surprised about the gap between himself and teammate Lewis Hamilton. I'm surprised by the big gap over Lewis. It's bigger than I would have expected. I don't know how Lewis's lap was, but this time everything went right on my lap. It was a really enjoyable, nice lap, a nice feeling and a nice adrenaline rush. The car was behaving and doing what I asked of it. As a team, we've done an incredible job and I'm proud of the recovery from a difficult P3. Speaking to Sky Sports after the session, Toto Wolff did offer an explanation as to why the gap was so big between the two Mercedes, stating that the team were unable to charge Hamilton's battery properly after Q2, which in turn compromised his first run in Q3. He did also add that the cooler track temperatures and the gravel on track could have played a part. And of course, we saw, didn't we, towards the end of qualifying that drivers did struggle to deliver any improvements as the session came to a close. As I've already said, yes, okay, Hamilton had his issues, but it was still a fantastic lap from Bottas and he absolutely deserves all of the credit he's getting for it. It was, though, another disappointing day for Ferrari, albeit at least a little bit closer to one of the Mercedes than many predicted after FP3. And Sebastian Vettel is hopeful that the daring setup approach the Scuderia have taken for tomorrow's race will help them to rescue a result. We are certainly not satisfied, but I am happy with the approach with the chance that we took in terms of trying something daring. Something that ultimately it will pay off, maybe not today at least, but hopefully it will help us in terms of pace for tomorrow. It is quite clear we seem to be faster down the straights, so probably we carry a little bit less wing than them. But in the last sector there are no straights and we are struggling a little bit to bring it together. We need to dig deep. Now is not the first time we are losing out and not the second time nor the third time. There is a bit more for us to understand, but if we had the solution, surely it would be on the car already. His teammate Charles Leclerc has said, by the way, that he can't understand why running over the curb in Q2 caused quite as much damage as it did to his car. He went on to add that that damage resulted in the car's balance being strange in Q3. Perhaps that's why he only ended up in P5. Ultimately though, Ferrari just did not have the pace today, car damage or not. As you saw at the start of the video, Max Verstappen once again managed to split the Ferraris and based on the long run pace we saw on Friday, could actually be in a very good position to snatch a podium finish. Despite that though, the Dutchman was not completely happy after the session, saying that he was pleased to get between the Ferraris, but is disappointed to be so far adrift of Mercedes. If you compare to Mercedes, of course we are lacking quite a bit. So in that perspective, I think we are not where we want to be. Yeah, we can be very honest about that. I'm not here to qualify fourth. Of course, I'm happy to qualify between the Ferrari cars, but I think as a team we want to challenge the number one. That is Mercedes. There was not much more in it. The tyres just dropped off and felt like chewing gum, just sliding around. I think we have a realistic chance of fighting with Ferrari. We are quite close. Mercedes is a different story. His teammate Pierre Gasly managed to round out that top 6, but said that he was actually surprised to see Ferrari so far off the pace in Spain. I can understand Verstappen's frustration, absolutely, but as I've already said, he is in a very strong position for the race tomorrow, and he and Gasly, of course, could really give those Ferraris a headache in the race. If I'm being completely truthful though, in a clean fight, so no rain, no mechanical dramas, not even a safety car, just a straight fight, frankly, I don't see either team getting anywhere near the Mercedes tomorrow. A quick word on Haas, excellent performance from them, although they may be a little bit disappointed, feels strange saying that. But going into qualifying, it did look as though they might be able to pick off one of the Red Bulls and get in the mix with the top 3 teams. However, even though they didn't quite manage that, they did comfortably end up as best of the rest, and in all fairness, were only a couple of tenths off Gasly in P6. So still, an excellent showing from them, but can they deliver in the race? That has been where they've been struggling over recent weekends. And Daniel Kvyat, he also deserves a mention. It was a very good lap from him to deliver P9, and he's put himself in a great position to potentially score points tomorrow. Honestly, he really impressed me again today. On to my one to watch for tomorrow's race then, and I'm going to go with Kimi Räikkönen. Okay, Alpha haven't shown great pace so far this weekend, but Kimi has shown himself more than enough times already this season that he can deliver on a Sunday and pick up the points. In fact, he is the only driver outside of the top 3 teams to score at every race so far in 2019. His long run pace on Friday was okay, nothing overly special, but he was on a par on the soft tyre with the likes of Magnussen and Grosjean. Of course, overtaking in Spain is tricky, and so it's not going to be an easy task for him, but if anybody from back there can, it's Kimi Räikkönen. Also, keep an eye on Sergio Perez and Nico Hülkenberg, but also Lance Stroll. He's another one who's shown already this season that he is more than capable of making his way through the field on a Sunday. That is it then for the Spanish Grand Prix qualifying report, and in the comments section down below, don't forget you can let me know your thoughts on the session and also your predictions ahead of tomorrow's race. Now, I will be back tomorrow with the race watch along, but in the meantime, you can follow me over on social media. All the links you need are in the description down below. But as always, thank you for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye-bye.